again, Buccaneer fans. Time for the Buccaneer update on CSUSports.com. Rob Walden, along with head women's basketball coach Julie Goodenough, coming off of a couple of losses this past weekend, 75-73 to UT San Antonio on Friday night, then 87-77 on Saturday to Mercer. Coach, I know it was a couple of disappointing games for you guys, hosting two quality teams in the Charleston, or the Low Country Women's Classic, and they were both close games. Both could have gone your way in the end, but a couple of bounces here or there went the way of the opponents, and that led to a couple of losses.
Well, we are disappointed that we went 0-2 in our own classic. We did bring in some tough opponents. I'm hoping to be challenged early on in our season, and it definitely was a challenge for our players. I felt like Friday night that our kids came out with just some good intensity and teamwork on the offensive end, but we got such a slow start. UTSA jumped out to a big lead at the beginning of the game, and it took a lot of energy to get back in the game before halftime. But we learned some lessons, hopefully through that game against UTSA, that every possession we have to value the basketball. We have to, have intensity every defensive possession, because it came down to a one-possession game. We lose by 2 points. We talked a lot after the game about some mistakes we made, some missed defensive assignments. And shoot-around on Saturday, we covered some of the same areas, trying not to make those same mistakes again in the Mercer game. And I think probably the most disappointing thing about the whole weekend is that we made the same mistakes Saturday that we made on Friday, and we didn't learn from those mistakes. Granted, we are playing with sophomores and freshmen, and I don't think they quite understand how to value the ball and how every possession is very, very important. And the next time we hit the court, we'd like to see a little more maturity and a little more seriousness and urgency with each play.
You guys played back-to-back for the first time, a 24-hour turnaround after the Friday game before you took on Mercer on Saturday. I know the girls seemed a little fatigued on Saturday against Mercer, but you told them, Mercer was going through the same kind of back-to-back turnaround that you were, and if that's the kind of thing that you guys are going to have to learn how to deal with if you're going to be successful in the conference tournament come March.
Absolutely, and no doubt our players played very hard. I know they expended a lot of energy on Friday, and we're going to play hard to the finish. We weren't saving any energy. We were playing for the win on Friday. Probably did use quite a bit of energy, and we were a little bit fatigued on Saturday, but so was Mercer. I think they rose to the occasion more than we did, and showed a little more mental toughness for that quick turnaround. And that's just something that our team needs to learn, and something that we can help them learn and practice as well. And again, for our next opponent, we hope that we show a little more mental toughness than we did this weekend.
Talk about Tuesday night's opponent, Bluefield College, out of the NAIA, a team that on paper you guys should be able to beat easily, but I know that you've talked to your team about the focus that you guys need to have, and the intensity and better defensive assignments than we saw this weekend. We're going to come away with a victory against Bluefield.
Well, we're going to make some changes with our starting lineup to hopefully put a better defensive unit on the team to begin the ball game. We're changing up our pregame warm-up to have a little more of a defensive emphasis. Scoring is not a problem right now. We're putting plenty of points up on the board. It's the defensive end where we're having some breakdown. So we're going to try to approach this game with a defensive mindset. And, our goal is to accomplish some things defensively in our game against Bluefield.
And then, of course, the Thanksgiving holiday is this week as well, just 2 days after the game against Bluefield. Talk about how you approach the holiday with your team, what sort of changes that makes to your routine throughout the week, and then talk about how you hope the girls approach what can be kind of an awkward week for them.
Well, we've got a really busy time in our schedule coming up. We'll work out on Wednesday. We're taking Thanksgiving Day off. First time, I think, in my coaching career I've had a Thanksgiving Day off. We'll practice on Friday and get prepared for South Carolina State. And after the South Carolina State game at home, we head to Chapel Hill. We have UNC Chapel Hill on Sunday. Stay in North Carolina, and we play at UNC Greensboro on Tuesday. So we've got 3 games in 4 days, and so our preparation for that will be physical but also mental. We've got a lot of things the players need to fully understand as we go into each of those opponents. All 3 teams that we play after Thanksgiving Day are very different, and our players will have to respond to the differences in our game plan, our game strategy going into those games.
Well, Coach, best of luck Tuesday night against Bluefield. Hopefully we can get back on the winning track and start some momentum before that stretch of 3 games in 4 days.
Thank you.
All right, that's head coach Julie Goodenough of the CSU women's basketball team. You're watching the Buccaneer Update on CSUSports.com.